For ages, people have been asking me to take a deeper look at my Self MOC. Whether that's instructions for how it's built, or the backstory behind the character, or even the real-world history and other fun details about how it was made. This video is going to encompass all of those things. So let's get stuck into it. This is my Self MOC. His name is Kossi. Yeah, maybe there are more bionicle sounding names than Kossi, but that's what 14-year-old Ben named this, so that's what he's called. I guess it just kinda stuck. He did have a lot of backstory that I wrote years ago. The idea was that he was made by Makuta Pterodax. He was created to serve as a kind of general to his Rakshi armies. He was this kind of soulless monster that was made to blindly follow Makuta's orders. When Kossi was on a mission, he encountered a Matoran, and he was ordered to kill him. But he couldn't do it. He realized what he was created for was wrong. He needed to be better, so he rebelled against his master. He later joined the ranks of the Order of Matanui, becoming an honorable Toa, all the while making sure that he kept his inner darkness in check, and he always strived to be a better person. There were other chapters and sagas, all of which I wrote in high school. So, it's very clearly written by someone who was a teenager. It's not exactly Shakespeare, but it's still fun. But that's the basic idea of his story. The character has undergone a lot of physical changes and kind of evolved over the years. The first version was built back in 2010. Yep, that's right, this MOC is over 16 years old. Wild. The Hero Factory sets had just hit the store shelves, and I was quite fascinated by some of the parts, pieces, and masks. I'd also seen a lot of people in the Bionicle community building their own Self MOCs. A Self MOC, a mascot for your online persona, or a character that represents you in the Bionicle world. I thought that idea was really rad, and I wanted to build my own. My original plan was to buy Surge for his lightning weapons, and then I'd buy Breeze for her lime pieces and her mask. Yet the original idea was that he would be a lime character with lightning weapons. Originally, Kossi was going to look very different, but at the time, I only had enough money to buy Surge. So I said, nuts to the lime, nuts to the mask. Let's just stick with these pieces and see what I can do. So I made this. However, younger Ben didn't really like how this looked. So eventually when I posted it online, I said, no, this isn't my Self MOC. This is just a revamp of Surge. But I wasn't finished. I took another stab at this concept. And this time I bulked him up, I added some wings. Yeah, this is what my Self MOC needed to be. I liked how this looked. I was pretty happy with this. I did create a few other, versions of the character, including this ultimate evil version of Kossi. A kind of what-if concept. What if he did double down on being a Makuta, and he kept mutating and becoming more and more evil? Well, this could be what he looks like. As time moved on, as it got to 2011, Kossi had evolved and changed even more, looking like this. I filled in a lot of the gaps, I added in more details. Yeah, he kept getting refined. A lot of little changes. But then we got to 2012, and I started to feel like, I want this to be a bit better. I want it to really change. But around that time, I was going through some mental health stuff. Things were a bit tougher. And yeah, I kind of hit a bit of a builder's block. For a pretty solid year, I really felt like I couldn't build anything. I just struggled to be creative. But as I exited out of that phase of my life, as I grew and evolved, so too did my Self MOC. I was able to finish him off, and I made him look exactly how I wanted him to look. At the time, I was pretty proud of it. He had frickin' flame wings that were blue fire. Oh, I loved that. For ages, I'd struggled to finish off this MOC. So to actually rise above those limitations and to actually finish this off, it was big. This is when, to me at least, Kossi became a kind of personal representation of my path towards creativity. A symbol for inspiration. A representation of my growth into just embracing my creativity and believing in myself. That's why this mask is the logo for this channel. To me, I see it as a representation of creativity and inspiration. And those are values and qualities that this channel very much represents. It's the essence of what I do. It feels like a pretty fitting mascot. Kossi continued to grow and evolve. I scrapped the flame wings, because yeah, they were cool, but they were so fragile. Eventually I ended up with this design. And that's how he still looks today. Yes, the techniques and the textures are a bit messy. Yes, the proportions might be a little bit off, not quite accurate. And yeah, there might be more modern techniques and modern pieces that would look way better. But I don't know, I like how he looks. Because of what this character symbolizes and what he embodies, I don't really want to change it. I kind of want to keep him the way he is. Maybe one day I'll revamp him and make a whole separate version that looks totally modernized and different. But this is roughly how he looked when I made a big step towards being really creative and really embracing that side of myself. So I don't know, it feels wrong to change or modify that. I want to keep him how he was. Faults and all. So I promised instructions, or at least a bit of a breakdown. Let's get to that. I'll show you how each individual section is made. The feet, stock standard, your typical Anika feet with a couple extra pieces. The lower legs, it's a lot of different Technic pieces. You'll see some light bluish grey lift arms right here. Well, at one point Kossi did have more silver and light grey in his colour scheme. This is a leftover from that apparently didn't get removed after all those years. To achieve this bit here, there is a bit of bent flex tube, although you could probably accomplish the same thing with like a Lego hot dog piece, one of the little sausages. But yeah, that's how they rest at that angle. The upper legs. Gosh, look at those bent flame pieces. That is a very illegal technique right there. Put in a lot of stress on that piece. Funnily enough, there's a few techniques here that I would not use today, namely illegal stuff or cutting flex tube to very small sizes. Still, it's an interesting window into how I used to build, and it's fun to see how I've kind of changed and evolved. Now for this waist section. I remember this being decently inspired by an old friend of mine. I don't think they make Lego anymore, and I don't remember their original online name, but their name was Colton. So Colton, if you're out there watching this, thank you for the inspiration, this was a cool design. Speaking of which, I'm very happy for you to build your own version of Kossi. Follow these instructions, make him yourself, do whatever you want. Or hey, if you just want to take these techniques and put them on your own creations, go ahead. The whole point of this is to inspire you and give you ideas, knock yourself out. And you know, if you want to build Kossi and make your own alterations and changes, sounds great, do it. I'd love to see what you come up with. Hopefully these breakdown images make sense and are very clear and concise. If you do have a few extra questions or you're a little unsure how something is built, be sure to take a look at some of the videos I did in the past about instructions for different body parts. I'll have a playlist to that below. Some of those videos I actually do break down how some sections of this MOC are built, and I do it in a lot more detail. So if you have questions, they might be answered there. The upper arms use a bunch of system pieces and a relatively simple Technic construction. The design is sturdy and posable, I like it. And I think you could say the same for the lower arm. It does use a lightsaber bar kind of shoved into this piece. Then you attach the Hero Factory armor on top, cap it off with a system piece, and you're good to go. The hands, very straightforward, just with a few extra pieces on top to detail it up. Put it all together, and that's Kossi. Oh, I did miss the wings on the back. This is what they look like up close. It's nothing too complicated. Again, you can probably reverse engineer this just looking at it. By the way, the idea with these wings is that they're supposed to be like jet engines or something that let him fly around with great speed. It was added in to tie back to the idea that he has a mask of supersonic flight. Remember, there are no mask powers on the Hero Factory masks. So it was fun to kind of imagine what these would do if they were bionicle masks. Honestly, it's a really fun kind of thought experiment. What would be the mask powers of each Hero Factory mask? I feel like supersonic flight feels appropriate for the look and feel of this mask. But what do you think? List in the comments below what you think all of these mask powers would be if the Hero Factory masks were bionicle masks. Oh, but his sword. This sword is not actually made by me. This was a gift from my friend ShadowGear6335. He sent this to me one Christmas, and it's been his sword ever since. It's a lovely little compact, solid design. It looks so good. Here's a small breakdown of how it's made. Simple, elegant, beautiful. There you go. Instructions, real-world backstory, Bionicle backstory, everything you need to better understand and build your own version of my Self MOC. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy building, and bye for now. I toyed with the idea of changing his name to Lacuva, but I abandoned the idea. Cossi is better.